Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for May 1st of 2025 is titled Messenger's Last Day on Mercury. So what do we see here? Well, here we see one of the last images taken by the Messenger spacecraft, which was orbiting Mercury and then crashed into its surface when it ran out of maneuvering fuel. So this is the region that it would eventually crash into. Now this occurred about 10 years ago on April 30th of 2015. And we see the region here. Now the coloring is not actual colors of Mercury. Those are false colors. So Mercury just generally looks a very grayish color, relatively similar to our own moon. So the orbit was predicted to be right around the center of here, but of course we have no way of mapping that out because there has not been a spacecraft there until recently, when the Bepi-Colombo craft has recently been passing by Mercury and approaching eventually an orbit here in a couple of years. So this was really our first up-close look at Mercury. We had visited it once back in the 1970s. That was a one-time visit, a flyby, or actually a couple of flybys. But the Messenger was actually the craft that was in orbit around Mercury for a few years and studying it in great detail and finally giving us complete images of the entire surface. Our earlier observations from the Mariner spacecraft only gave us part of the surface because that was the only part that was illuminated when it passed by. Here we get to see a little portion, but eventually the entire surface of Mercury. So future images of this region will show a new crater, something about 16 meters or about 50 feet in size. And that was caused when the craft crashed into Mercury and dug out a new crater. So an impact crater occurs often when a bit of space debris hits the surface of a planet, such as Mercury here, or a surface of a moon like our own moon. But here we get to see that craters can be caused by spacecraft. Now, we've also done that with other objects. We've crashed into our own moon many times, as well as other objects that we have crashed into, including an asteroid, where this was done to actually try to change the orbit of an asteroid to see how well we could change the orbit of an asteroid should one be on a collision course with Earth. So here again we see a portion of Mercury heavily cratered, looking a lot like our own moon. And Mercury and the moon have a lot in common in terms of their surface features and some of those properties, but overall can be relatively different as well in that Mercury has a much higher concentration of metals than our moon does. Our moon is essentially just rock, whereas Mercury has a very large metal core. So we'll look forward to future studies from the Bepi-Colombo craft, which is scheduled to go into orbit around Mercury in a couple of years and study it in detail again, giving us updated information from what Messenger taught us. So that was our picture of the day for May 1st of 2025. It was titled Messenger's Last Day on Mercury. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be burning hydrogen. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.